Shez the Shloah Kadosh. Libi Omer she'es ratzon l'tfila zu be'erev Rosh Chodesh Sivan hu hachodesh shebo mitna Torah ve'az nikraim banim l'Hashem Elokeinu. The Shloah explains that one should go ahead and say the tefillah that he composed, erev Rosh Chodesh Sivan, because we became, at that point in time, the children of Hashem. There's an interesting story that Rabbi Biderman relays regarding a woman who became a Balash Tshuva. And at the wedding, there were many people in attendance. One of the women that were in attendance was looking for the Kala's mother to go ahead and wish her a Mazel Tov. She's looking all over, can't locate her. Finally, she sees her at the corner of her eye, sitting in the corner of the room, and she's looking all distraught, very disappointed. And so she goes over to her to console her, to understand what's going on, and she breaks out in tears and tells her, "This is my third daughter that became a Balash Tshuva. They've all rejected my way of life. I don't understand what I did to deserve this." And she's very disappointed. And so this woman, recognizing this is not the time to get into a philosophical debate with her, wanted to know what is your connection with Haredim? How did they get turned on to Yiddishkeit? And she says, I don't know, but I did have one interaction 20 years ago at a seminar for Bali Tshuva. It didn't really speak to me, but they handed out a page to all of us and told us that we should say it every day. Now, this woman didn't know Hebrew very well, but she said it every day as part of her routine. So she says, "Oh, what was the page?" She says, "Well, I have it in my pocket if you'd like to see." So she takes it out, and what is it? It's the tefillah of the Shloah Kadosh, to tell us the power of the tefillah that one prays for on behalf of their children, so that they should be successful in their Yiras Shamayim. An interesting point that Rabbi Biderman makes gives a nice idea from one of the models that we look at for and draw many of the halachos of tefillah from is the tefillah of Chana in Shmuel Aleph. We learn there about Chana and her interaction with Eli. And she comes back after she has her son Shmuel, and Chana says, "V'gam anochi hishaltihu l'Hashem." I'm going to lend him over to Hashem. Hashem will borrow him from me. Very strange language. Why doesn't Chana give him over as a matana? Says Rabbi Biderman. The reason being that because even Shmuel, which we say, Moshe v'Aaron b'chonav u'Shmuel b'korei shemo, that Shmuel attained to such heights like Moshe and Aaron, even someone like him, he needed a mother to pray for him. He needed a mother to pray on his behalf. And therefore, if she only lent him over to Hashem, she would still be his mother. There's another interesting idea that we see by the Kavura of Avraham Avinu. The pasuk says, "Vayikberu oso Yitzchak v'Yishmael banav el me'aras ha'machpelah." Says Rashi, Yitzchak v'Yishmael. Why in that order? Mikan she'asa Yishmael teshuva v'holeches Yitzchak lefanav. He directed Yitzchak to go in front of him at the procession of the burial of Avram. Why did he do that? Because he became a Baal Tshuva. We don't see the same commentary, says Rashi, that Esav became a Baal Tshuva. We only see this comment of Rashi by Yishmael. Why do we see it by Yishmael and not by Esav? Says Rabbi Biderman, because earlier when Avram is given the news that he's going to have another child, he's going to have Yitzchak Avinu, he says to Hashem, Lu Yishmael yichlel fanecha, that he was concerned about Yishmael, he was praying for Yishmael, he davened for Yishmael's well-being. And it turns out that davening, later on in his life, 80 to 90 years later, he turned around, he became a Baal Tshuva. We don't see the same thing by Yitzchak, because Yitzchak was confident in the ways of Esav, and so he wasn't as successful. And so we should take this as a lesson at this time of year to pray for ourselves, to pray for our neighbors, to pray for our children, to pray for Klal Yisrael. The tefillah can really help. If we don't see it coming to fruition immediately, it might be 20 years later down the line, or maybe 80 or 90 years later down the line. But in the end, Hashem counts all the demos of all of ours.